Okay, so looks like we have a couple people on the line. So thank you so much for joining one of our first ever Houzz Pro Support office hours. We're really excited to go through our latest product news with you today and do a live Q&A. So what you'll see at the bottom of your screen is you should see an option for a Q&A box through Zoom. So please make sure to submit your questions. We want to make sure that this time is reserved for you, and we can help answer anything related to your Houzz Pro account and hopefully share with you some exciting news as well. So to get us kicked off and to get us started, first we want to, of course, introduce ourselves. So my name is Chloe. I have been with Houzz for about 8 years, and I am the director that oversees a variety of different teams at Houzz, working with many of our existing customers, of course. And I am joined by Emily. So Emily, you want to say hello?
Hi, I am Emily, and I am our onboarding specialist manager. I have been with Houzz for several years and just am super excited to be here today to go through a few new updates with you guys. So yeah, just put your questions in the chat and let us know how we can help.
Awesome. All right, so for what we have in store for you today. So our first item that's on the list of a new product update is a small one, but a great one, as just creating invoices from time and expense. We want to show you how to do that. Second, I'd love to show you that we have just launched global search on Houzz Pro, which is a really amazing feature as you start creating more and more documents, proposals, invoices, estimates, get a lot of different individuals loaded into your CRM that you're able to easily find what you're needing at the click of a button. And then next, we're going to go through some amazing brand new additions to our 3D floor planner on Houzz. So this is constantly a feature that's being updated time and time again. But really great tools that are available now. So we're going to specifically go over sectionals, fireplaces, stairs, wall partitions, and just kind of give a run through on the 3D floor planner. And then the last couple things we have here are just overall generating the right types of clients on Houzz, whether you be marketing or not. There's some best practices that we have. And plus, it might be a sneak peek for some of you who may not be on our Ultimate program and just in the software. Some of the ways that you can generate more quality inquiries for your business. So we're not only going to go over enhanced budget filters to attract the right leads for our ultimate customers, but all the different settings that will help set you up for success. Next, Emily's going to go over verified licenses, and finally, a brand new program for those of us who are in desperate need of amazing photography. We have just launched our Perfect Capture program on Houzz, and there is some really great things that we can show you there. Awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just dive right in into Houzz Pro. So let me just switch screens here and then we'll take a look. All right, so I am right now in my demo account. So for those of you, if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, make sure that you're going to pro.houzz.com. If you're logged in and you're seeing maybe your profile, you should also see in the upper right-hand corner a blue Go to Houzz Pro button, and that will land you on the screen that I'm in now. So if you have any questions about this or you're getting stuck, just let myself or Emily know, and we can walk you through that live. All right, but some of the things that we wanted to dive in here first. So on Houzz, there are so many different things, but the first couple things that we wanted to highlight today were time and expense. So if I specifically go under the Manage tab up at the top, there is a time and expense drop down here. So for those of you who have not yet used this tool, there are some great ways to track the time that you work on projects. So there is a stopwatch up in the upper right that's enabled, where you or your team members potentially can start logging their time for all the various things that they may do on a project. So whether it be getting that time accounted for of travel or sourcing products for a project, it's very easy to add a stopwatch, create a timer that's associated with the project, and of course, input your rates. You can start the stopwatch really easily. You can have multiples running at any given time. And this can also be done through our Houzz Pro app. So if you have not yet downloaded that, and of course, you're probably constantly on the go, It's a great tool to download and make sure you start using our stopwatch feature to account for any of the time that you spend on your projects and making sure that you're billing for it appropriately. So just a quick little call out on our stopwatch feature there. But you can see I have just a couple different entries that I have done on my projects. So time and expenses, of course, here it's accounting for all the time that I have logged via stopwatch or manually creating a new entry on time that I have spent working on these various projects. So say, for example, I want to invoice my customer for these miscellaneous items. What I can do is I can actually mark the checkbox to the left of an item that I want to bill for. And then separately, maybe in that same project, I have some miscellaneous expenses. So not necessarily something that's tied to like sourcing furniture, charging them for those design fees, but something, again, maybe miscellaneous and small. So maybe like flowers for staging or gas reimbursement for mileage. You can create new entries very easily with a click of a button and add exactly what it's for. Of course, tie in the project and upload files and descriptions as needed. But once you have them here, you can actually see that once I selected from the time tab, this checkbox, it added a little 1 up in the upper right. So it's accounting for creating an invoice on one item. So if I transition to clicking on expenses, and I also select another item, I can create an invoice for both of these together. So the call out here, of course, is that these items need to be from the same project, but a new addition that we have on Houzz Pro, a simple one, but can be a great time saver that is now live and launched. Great. Okay, so next what I wanted to go over is something we are all at Houzz so excited about, and I hope that you are as well, is a simple tool in the upper right-hand corner of a search bar. So there are so many things as you're creating projects and different customers that, again, you may add to your lead management tool, or you're creating documents or trying to find where you placed potentially a specific sofa that you sourced on a proposal, whatever it may be. You need to know where that ended up. So this universal search bar is a great tool. So say, for example, I need to find anything related to my client, Joey. I can go ahead and just search and hit the enter button on my keyboard. And here down below, it will show all my clients. It will show my invoices that are mentioning that name, my inquiries, any payments tied to that name, projects, proposals, and so on. So it's really helpful to be able to find what you need. But yes, so that is a great tool for you. And then I see actually a question from the audience that it's a little hard to see on my screen. I can try to zoom in a little bit. Make sure that you also have the screen on your side fully expanded. So expand your window because I want to make sure that you can, of course, see all these great things. All right. So we, of course, went over quickly time and expense, invoicing together. We went over our universal search bar in the upper right. And then next, I want to take you to another amazing quick update, which is our 3D floor planner and some new additions that we have. So up on this toolbar, again, whether you be a builder, whether you be a designer, we have some visual tools that are at your disposal. So if you click on design and click on 3D floor plans, maybe you have done some already. And if you haven't, I definitely encourage you to get started by clicking add a new floor plan. It will basically bring up a blank box, but there are so many things that you can do to really make these come to life. So I'll show you a quick example of one for those of us who may have never seen this. It's a really easy, intuitive tool. It will take a minute to load here, as this one is pretty robust on all the things that have been added into this floor plan in particular. But where you primarily make your edits as far as like structures and walls and windows is on this floor plan icon here up at the top. And as I go through, there's different things that I can, of course, move around now that I've added different features. But say you're starting blank from scratch, you'll see over on the right, there's structures, which again are those physical elements like doors, windows, staircases, wall partitions, fireplaces. These are some of our latest additions right here on Houzz. You can see many different options for placeholders for a variety of different staircases. different wall partitions for glass, commonly, of course, probably used in many bathrooms, and then fireplaces, again, another recent addition. So those are some new features that we have. Separately, you'll see products. So if I toggle over to products, these are some great placeholder products to kind of make these come to life, give that visual experience for your customers as they're trying to envision what is their new home going to look like. So there are tons of different products here that you can add in, hundreds. You can search for them by names. You can easily, again, make this your own. And then lastly, there's also this source button. So source is connected to our Houzz Pro marketplace. So of course we have the option to buy products on Houzz, but this is also a great way to add more color and life into these floor plans. So these images we specifically had our engineers render in 3D. So these can be used to really make it feel lifelike and feel realistic, which you'll see that magic kind of come into play when I click on this dollhouse view. So you'll see here on this one in particular that there are some white placeholder products, like you'll see this white bed, but there's also many things that I've sourced from the marketplace. So you'll see these actual chairs that are on our Houzz marketplace. So it's just a really great experience for, again, customers to see your vision. There's also the option to walk through, give their space, kind of make it come to life. And there's also some really amazing options on the Houzz Pro app to use virtual reality. So it's a very, very amazing experience to have your design and build expertise coupled with technology to really make sure that your customers know what's in store for them when they work with you. All right. So I did want to actually show you on one of the plans, an easy way to kind of, again, manipulate them, if you will. So I'm going to go back into the one that I had, and actually what I'm going to do is say, for example, I want to use some of our new products on Houzz. I'm going to actually do actions, and I'm going to just duplicate this one because I just like where I got started, but say I want to swap out that built-in for a fireplace and I want to add in a sectional. So I'm going to change that really quick, and I'm actually going to go back and refresh my page and find that new test project that I made. And then once it loads here, so like I mentioned, so maybe I don't want to have these accent chairs anymore. I want to kind of delete these out, go for more of a sectional look. I'm going to get rid of this sofa here. And then I'm going to get rid of this built-in because, again, I want to use a fireplace and a sectional. So I can select from my fireplaces. I want this nice mantle and surround. So I'm going to pull that in here. And as I drag it over, you'll see it's smart enough to just pop over on the wall that I want it. You can, of course, adjust the dimensions, the distance from the floor, etc. And then separately, I'm going to also add in that sectional. So if I go into products and I start typing in sectional, I can actually kind of make this my own. So I know that there's a lot of different ways that sofas can be arranged. So actually using these little pieces, I can kind of plug and play and make this, again, kind of come to life with what I envision and have in mind for my client. So I'm just going to kind of move it around here. I'm going to add in some pieces to make this my own. Drag this guy in, and you'll just see how easy it is. So I'm going to just rotate this. I'm going to match these guys up. I'm going to duplicate this one just to extend it out a little bit. And then again, I can do the same thing on the other side. So I'll take it here and I'll just rotate. So you'll see how easily they snap together. And then of course here I have a couple pillows that I just need to kind of rearrange, put them back where they go. And then here's this table. So I'm just going to move it a little bit, kind of center this light above the table. And then I can kind of see again in the dollhouse view now that I have my sectional and my fireplace. So again, a couple new additions, largely based off the feedback from our pro community. So hopefully that is helpful. But yes, so keep the questions coming in. We are happy to answer. And then next, I will actually kick it over to Emily to go over some other amazing new updates that we've had in about the last 30 days here on Houzz. So let me go ahead and stop my screen share. So Emily, I'll kick it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, I am going to be covering the enhanced budget features today, and let me share my screen. 1 second. Let me know you guys can see this.
Looks good.
Beautiful. So to start, if you're in Houzz Pro, essentially what you want to do to get to the budget settings is just at the top, you'll want to go all the way to the right-hand side, come to the little you can actually come to the spot that has your profile picture, and you just click that and you click Houzz Pro settings. From here, you'll want to go to subscriptions. And from there, this will give you a list of all of your just current subscriptions. And if you had previous subscriptions, this will have that there at the bottoms, but you will be able to see the ones that are enabled here. And if I click into this, this will tell you again your current area that you would be in, as well as your category. And then you can hit edit package to get to the enhanced budget filters. So this is really great. From a lot of feedback from our different home professionals, we have created this list to make it very specific so that it gives you more of that high level, very specific type of lead that you're looking for. So we've broke this up into 3 different areas essentially for you. The first is the budget levels. And here, this is where on the right-hand side, if you hit edit, this will show you what you would be eligible for based on budgets. And this starts from low to high. You can pick if you'd like any budget. If you're open to all budgets, you can select all of those. If you're really looking to target a certain audience, you can select and aggregate that based on what your interests are. This pro has selected that they would like to work with mid to high price and quality, as well as homeowner who wants the very best results. So this essentially, it does make an impact for your leads, but the great thing here is that it is going to really fine tune and target the type of client that you are looking to get, instead of just capturing a whole net of people that you may not be interested in working with. So for this, by saving this here, once you do make your edits, saving this here, you'll actually be able to select from the 2 different areas and categories that this would be applicable to. So if I wanted it just to be for the East Bay Coastal, I would set it to that one specifically, or if I wanted to select all, I would do that and then simply hit apply. So at that point, you'll notice this percentage. It'll show you the percentage that it would qualify you for, as mentioned, but again, it is going to help enhance and target that right audience, which we encourage. The second section here is the scope of service. Scope of service, if I hit the edit button to the right-hand side, I can essentially see the different type of services that you would be providing. If you are looking to do just design as a standalone, you would select design as a standalone. If it's construction installation, you would select that. You have the ability, based on what your services are, to select that scope of service that you would be willing to take on a job for. So for this professional, they are simply just in that design category. So they want to just take design projects. After you do that, the same way that you would save that, you want to make sure you save your changes to that and then apply to the areas. Looks like we had a question on that, but we got it answered, correct?
Yep, absolutely. I did get it. But I guess maybe one question that I think commonly does come up is, and I know you're going to get to it in a second, I think there's some confusion based off of different categories, like selecting all services or which one should they prioritize.
Exactly.
So I know you're going to get to that in just a minute, but that question did come in from Mike.
Yes. So speaking to that, that's essentially where we're headed right now with this next direction. And one thing, because I am on I did want to mention something up here with scope of service. With some home professionals, it will show different, it'll have different scope of service, whether it's install, repair, or you're willing to do both. If you're not willing to do those things, do not select them. If you are willing to take a lead on to do a repair, whatever, it could be a bathroom repair or a small repair, select repair. But if not, just simply remove that so you do not get inquiries for repairs. And then the same thing for installation. If you are willing to do a vanity installation, I see that one a lot, vanity or install cabinets that somebody might already have. Please select installation as one of the scope of services that you do provide. And then if not, please do not select that. You can just leave it blank and then move on from there. And make sure, again, you always save your changes. For standalone services provided, we have this broken up in 2 different sections. And with this, as Chloe mentioned, we want to make sure that we're getting very specific to those key type of projects that you are very much interested in taking on and eliminating things that you're not interested in taking on. So yes, you may do some of these different things, and we'll go into this. And there's 2 sections here that I wanted to bring up. At the bottom are for some of our items that are part of our normal project match, but then we also have what's called our visual match. And these are usually for larger scope projects that would essentially have a visual appeal to them and a visual draw. I'm going to come up here to the right-hand corner and hit the edit button. And here again, this will show you a variety of different services that you would be able to select based on your needs if it applies to you. For certain categories, the visual match may not always apply. So for maybe like roofing or plumbing or something like that, it may not apply for those things because the visual appeal for those is just not going to be the same as what an architectural design would or an interior design project would. So for those reasons, we have set up this feature for specific categories and specific project types. Here, you can actually pick 3 of your what I call the showstopper projects images for those type of services. And if you select this, if you select one of these, you'll see it'll populate a little item that you could essentially, when you click into the plus button, it'll put together a list or it'll put together all of your different photos that you could select from, and you can pick your top 3 photos that you would like to use to demonstrate that type of service that you provide. After you selected the 3, you would just hit save. And then since this was not selected for that person, I'm going to remove that, but you can see that they've gone through and selected the type of services here for that visual match, project match feature that they are interested in taking on. So again, these are some of the larger scale projects up at the top. And then after you finish selecting these, you would just hit save. And then again, you can select all that you would apply that to and just simply hit apply. Down here at the bottom, the next section, the services available for project match. These are for just the standardized project match that would not have the visual match feature attached to it, but are still very important to look through these and get very specific to the type of services that you're looking to take on as a project. Sometimes especially I see this in general contracting or actually in all categories, but there could be a ton of different things down here at the bottom. And you might do those things when you're doing a large project, but if you're not willing to take it on as a project, as a standalone project, you do not want to select that. It's highly important that we are very specific to prioritizing our list for our budget filters so that it again is aggregated to really get the type of services and type of jobs that you really want to be taking on versus a scope of things that you could do, but you don't really want to get a lead for. So are there any questions around that before I move on?
Not specifically, but it does look like some of you mentioned that you are already working with your client success manager on this and making some revisions. So it's good to hear. So we'll also show some of you in the audience how to get help towards the end of this in case, of course, we don't get a chance to answer all your questions. There's so many resources for you. So we'll absolutely get to that too. But yes, thank you so much, Emily.
Yes, beautiful. So again, if you need to connect with your client success manager, that is exactly what you want to do. Just keep in mind with all of these different filters, really think about that perfect job of what you would like to be taking on this platform and who you want to be targeting. Okay, so moving on over to the next item that I wanted to talk about today, which is our verified license. We have a very cool new feature that we've just added, and it's our verified license. And this feature, it lives on your profile. So if you toggle back to your main profile that is front facing for homeowners to see, this is a great way to essentially enhance your credibility as a pro, and a great way for homeowners to see that you actually are a verified professional in that category. There's the verified license. If you click it here, it will start walking you through the different steps of what to add for this. And after, you would just hit got it and submit it after you fill that out. This here will essentially, this is just kind of our example sheet, so to speak. So again, this is kind of what it looks like, because I know it was kind of hard to see whenever I had it on the other screen. But again, it's really just going to ask for the same stuff that's already on your license. So it basically wants to know the license number, the business name, issued by, license type, and the date it was verified on. And then, of course, you would submit this. After, let's see, after, and
I just put in the chat too, for those of you who want to kind of follow along, the article to this. So just in case you need it, you'll have it handy.
Awesome. And then again, once you do that, it's going to go through, and it's a pretty quick process, but it would essentially just verify that license. And this is, again, a way for you to stand out from other professionals who may not be verified professionals. And as I continue to scroll down through this is available for our essential and ultimate pros for the time being. And this will also give you a list of the different categories that are eligible for this, as well as the participating states. So in the link, definitely take a look, see if it's eligible. And when you're on your profile, you should be able to see this. The other thing that I did want to mention that is really great about this is not only is it going to help your profile stand out here, but when you are in our enhanced directory, it really will make you shine in comparison to others. You can see that this professional, it's highlighted there on the enhanced directory, and it helps to essentially stand out to from other pros in your area. Any questions before I move on to the next part?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. So the next bit that I am going to be going over is our new photo capture. So our team has partnered with some different photographers in different areas all across the United States. And we are super excited to offer this to our essential and ultimate pros, where you can essentially connect with these different photographers to book a shoot and help to stand out. And when you are starting off and building your business, it is so important to have great quality photos. And especially on a visual platform like Houzz, it is important to really have great photography. So I'm just going to show you some of the images that are here right now on our online magazine. And you guys are probably already familiar with this, but a lot of these are professionally shot. And the thing that I wanted to mention to this is that these shoots, you guys know this, are not cheap. They can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And what's great about this is that we are now going to be offering this for around, I'm pretty sure it's around $500 to $600 for the shoots. And with that, again, it is, we actually help you, help you book it. If you click this link, it would take you here and it would give you some different package options, payment options. You would schedule, and then they would contact you and let you know. So back here at this page, I was just going to say, this is has a couple of key points that, again, are going to be worth mentioning here. One, you're going to stand out from your competition when you have professional photography. And now we're trying to make that accessible for our pro members now more than ever. This also will help you with leads. When people can see the quality of your photos, and when they are professionally shot, you have a higher closing rate than someone who may not have professional photography. It will also show off your work, help you to shine and stand out. And again, it's really easy to book all of these. So essentially, if you're on this, did you share this link out with them?
I did. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, in the chat for you guys.
We can send that out. This kind of goes through about booking a shoot and how it works and all of that. There's different aesthetics, but down, if I scroll down, there's some different before and afters for this as well. You know, you can see the difference with the lighting. Lighting is such a big thing with professional photography, and having that experience on your side is going to be so beneficial. And then here are a couple of just testimonials from this. And we also have provided just a source for answering any questions that you might have about this that might come up, just frequently asked questions. So, and if you don't see it on here, we can always, you can always reach out to your CSM or to our support team, and we can help you that way as well. I actually have a couple examples from some different professionals that I was going to show you. One of them, you probably saw a couple of the images, but this is essentially what you would get and the amount of photos that you would essentially get with this and that price point. You can see the details of this are just fantastic. I'm going to click in here so you can get a better visual of this. And then I'm going to click, I'm not going to go through all of those, but again, whatever the type of professional you are, you can see that they really just highlight your work as an individual and help you to stand out.
Such a good investment for any business that you can use on your Houzz profile, your website, your social media. It is so difficult to capture all of the detail if you're not a trained photographer, especially one that works with like residential spaces. So a really exciting initiative that we've launched at a really affordable price. So super exciting. So good.
And again, right here on your profile too, this is where you can go to as another entry point other than the link, and you can essentially learn more about that there. And again, if you have questions on that or anything, please feel free to ask us or ask your CSM for that. But that kind of concludes it for the perfect capture, and it's a perfect segue to any additional questions you may have.
We do have a question in the audience. So for some of you, if you're not familiar with this, there are sometimes when you're like on your phone and you swipe through images or you're browsing pictures on Houzz, there are tags to help educate homeowners on how to potentially find things that are similar. Maybe they're not quite ready to hire a designer or a builder, but they just want to find a similar sync. So we wanted to, as Houzz, equip them to finding those information if they're not ready to hire a pro, but at the same time, those tags can be disabled. And for many categories, it's auto disabled. And then separately, these images, they are yours. They are property of yours. We don't go in and tag anything as far as products on Houzz. So be rest assured, this is absolutely just to promote you, your business, and your amazing quality work. So super exciting.
And I was just going to show, if you did want to, because we have especially interior designers, just to make sure that for them, they do not like their stuff tagged. So in the advanced settings, if you click into the advanced settings, that is where you can find that information there on here. So disable tagging of the products on the privacy settings. So if you did want to have that feature.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got some good questions already, but keep them funneling in. I do want to point out here in the next few minutes how you do, of course, get help above and beyond today. So let me go ahead and just share my screen one more time just to make sure that this is super, super clear because there are so many resources on Houzz. We know that there's a lot to learn. So above and beyond, you guys taking the initiative to sit with us today for about an hour. There's so much more that is here to help guide you and make sure that you're successful. So back on pro.houzz.com on the blue Houzz where you manage your business, there's this help icon on the upper tab here. So many of you, depending on your package, you probably either have an assigned client success manager, or if you just started with us, you all have an onboarding specialist. Their name will be right here, as well as their direct email address, and you can even schedule a call directly on their calendar. So these are great tools to make sure you get the support that you need when you need it. And separately, we also have an incredible tech support team here at Houzz. They are available from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We recently expanded our hours Monday through Friday. So if you have a small kind of quick question that you want to get answered, some technical advice, you can absolutely call that number. We have people here ready to help. Separately, we also have a help center. So similar to some of the articles that Emily shared, you can search our help center for anything that you may need. And there is probably some help center content, whether it be a written article or a video that you can watch. We also have video tutorials, of course. And our Learn section is another wonderful resource where even this recording will probably be housed and available. So we have a lot of webinars, good content there. Other things to point out is you can, of course, submit a written inquiry. Maybe you're not quite ready to talk on the phone. You just want to send a note. You can absolutely do that. That will route to our technical support team as well. And then say, for example, you're also maybe just getting started or you need to have some more support for your business. We even have a directory of bookkeepers that are familiar with Houzz Pro, business coaches, marketing agencies, etc. So much here. And of course, you can talk to your colleagues on our Pro to Pro discussion board. Finally, in the bottom right, we also have chat support. That's pretty new as well. So you can chat with us live as maybe you're having questions and working on the system. And the one final thing to take note of is, as you saw today, there are so many updates that are constantly coming out from Houzz because of your feedback and what you want to see improved in the system. So what you can do if you want to keep track of those, of course, you can attend these moving forward. We're going to host them every month. On the upper right, if you click on your Houzz, there's also this What's New in Houzz Pro. So a good call out on things that have launched probably since you last logged in, with some helpful content on things that will absolutely help give you some good guidance and support moving forward. All right, so with all that being said, let me see and go back to if we have any other final questions here. You know what, Emily, I see a question here from Shannon. If you wouldn't actually mind going back into a Houzz profile, there's a question on actually how to even upload photos and getting reviews. I think she saw from the profile that you showed that they had some great content on there. And this particular individual would love to learn how to do that themselves.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you are looking to add some photos into to upload a project and increase your portfolio that is on your profile, you would simply just scroll down here from the profile page and you can just hit the entry point here, new project. And this is just going to ask a couple basic questions. Is this part of a new project, or is it part of a different project that you may have already previously uploaded? So if it was part of a previously uploaded project, you would just select that. But if it's part of a new one, you would just hit create new. And then from there, you would go in and put in a project name. And you'll see there's a little red asterisk by the things that are required. I would encourage you, just an extra pro tip is to essentially go in and put in, so it has really great searchability, but for the project name, you could do an area, a style of the project, and a category. So if it was in, for example, Birmingham, you could put Birmingham home remodel, modern home remodel. So it would have a location, a style, and then a tag to what type of service that was, or a kitchen remodel. And if it, of course, if you're feeling like you're having similar ones, you can get creative with the names still, but by having the some type of location, that's going to help target that audience within that area of that local city. And then also the searchability will help increase as you're adding in keywords like modern or kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, home remodel, when people are searching certain things within your area. And then in turn, the other thing is actually adding in an address. We're not looking for a specific address, but a generic address of sorts that could be essentially like, Birmingham, Alabama, whatever it might be. So again, it's targeting a certain audience, a certain metroplex, wherever you're wanting to target. It will help target and build visibility around that. And that will help, again, your searchability, but also that whole remote area. And then other things that are important to kind of take note, is it, what kind of category? Is this just the space photos? Are these drawings? Are these before photos? A new thing that is for our sponsored members is video, the ability to actually upload video. And just something to point out right now over to the right-hand side, these are going to be photo guidelines. So these will be essentially the do's and the don'ts for uploading. And you'll see this will tell you essentially what's acceptable as far as pixels, what type of format, and we're looking for good quality photos, as mentioned, and that's part of the whole photography, why we're trying to make it accessible for you. And this will show you right now what's not going to take on here, what you might get an error message on. And then when I select video, you'll see it has a different set of guidelines for video as well. So it'll show you, again, acceptable format. It can be up to 10 minutes, and it needs to be 720 or higher pixelation, things like that. So those are things to kind of keep look out for. If you like to add in your, the other things on here to the left, if you like to add in your website, that's definitely encouraged. Keywording, again, this is something that all of this is searchable text for this project, and what will help you get more visibility on the platform and off of Google too, because it's all going to be linked to Google as well. So searchability is essentially the recipe for success. So the more information that you can provide, the more it's going to stand out. So adding in keywords like kitchen, bath, remodeling, kitchen, bath remodeling, getting creative with it. It'll give you a certain, you have 300 characters to kind of play with there. So definitely utilize that. The next item here is if you are working with anyone else, like a photographer, and you want to give them credit for the photos, or an interior designer, collaborate on the project, you can tag those people here and give them credit. So maybe you're working with another business that's on Houzz. You essentially would just type in their name, and you would be able to add them to the project as well. And it could show up on their profile as well, and vice versa. So they could tag you on projects. And then when you're ready, you would just simply select from the content box here, and then pull from your computer's files. After, just hit upload, and it'll allow you to upload. The other question I believe that you had was regarding reviews. This is something, again, that when you are in the enhanced directory, this is really going to be a determining factor, and why it's so important to work on building this from day one. And it's what I tell all the people whenever I was a CSM, come one, come all, calling all people that you've ever worked on. let them know that you're working on your house profile and that you're working to build up that business and your reputation on this platform, because it really is the #1 platform for finding home professionals and connecting them to the homeowners. And you want to make sure that you stand out versus your competition. And there's a couple ways you can do this. So you can do it here on the profile level and just simply hit get reviews. And when you do this, you would essentially just start entering email addresses from your own email history. So whenever you put an email in here, you would just separate them by commas. You also have the ability to link this up to like a Gmail, something like that, where it can pull and start like being a smart system. Essentially, it's going to be a smart system that will recognize the emails and the names and all of that. Below this, you can customize your message. So if you have just a few you're sending out, great. You can customize it at the top and make that a custom message, or you could create a standard message for just capturing a huge audience and then just put all the emails there and create just essentially, thank you so much for your business. I really enjoyed working on your project. I would appreciate so much if you could write me a review on houzz.com. And from there, you would essentially do a bulk send. And this will show you essentially what that would look like. And then after you hit send, of course, you'll get a little message sent. And if there's any errors, it'll say error for that. And if there's like some kind of thing, you can go back and try to resend it. This will also show you past review requests. So you can see if there's maybe somebody didn't respond the first time. I like to go back, and if it's been a little bit of time, I'll go back and hit them up again. So yeah, we want to make sure you can get as many review requests as you can. And then do we have enough time for me to show them the way they could do it essentially through the email marketing?
Yeah, let's quickly show that. That's pretty new too. So yeah, I think that's okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. So you could essentially go into Houzz Pro, and one of our new features here is our email marketing. And what's great about this, not only can you reach out for review requests, but you can actually essentially create campaigns around a variety of different services that you have, like maybe a welcome email or a thank you email, which would include the review request, or holiday greetings, newsletters, updates. The ability to do all of that is here. But if you were looking to essentially do a review request, you would just simply select this, create campaign, and then put client reviews. And this already has a pre-created template for you that you can in turn use this preset template and start plugging and playing your own information. And what's great about this, it's also all of these they come with templates, but they're customizable to you and you can change anything. So if I select this, I could drag and drop my logo there. I can put an image here. It's really user friendly. But you can change things around. So say you wanted to move something around, you could drag and drop that, no big deal. And then if I click into any area that has text, I would just simply click that in and start writing the text out that I want. And what's great, say you have that bulk email list on the screen before, and I'll show you that in just a second. You can upload a CSV of all of your contacts for completed projects, and it will actually insert their name if you put a first name with the email associated. And then you could even put your business name, so you don't have to retype it every single time, the review link, and then all of your social links. This is essentially playing off of all of your visibility together. And it's just a great way to build brand awareness and to, again, get people to leave you reviews. You could add video here. There's so many capabilities, but the key is that whenever you do this, you, again, can create an email campaign list for that specifically. And you would just create an email list, name review request, and then upload it. I think that's a good stopping point for that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I think some of the people in the audience didn't know that we launched that. So there's more to come on that too. If you are interested, want to get a deeper dive, more webinars are coming out on email marketing, even our website services offering. So if you don't have your own website that you love, many of you actually have it included in your subscription with Houzz, and we got a team of website designers who are here to help you. So there's so many wonderful things that Houzz can offer your business end to end. Anything you can think of under the sun, we probably have a solution for it. So I hope that this was a helpful and good use of your time. So we really appreciate you guys hanging out with Emily and I today. We're going to be sending you a follow-up email with a link to this recording. And we would love to hear your feedback on if this was a good experience for you. This is one of our first ones that we've ever done, but we would love to consistently offer them month over month for our professionals. So we'll include all these important links we touched on today. But we wish you the best in working with us on Houzz Pro, and we hope to see you soon. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Bye.
Bye.